Hi everyone, I'm Craig Merriweather with ACD Test. I wanted to do a short little video about my story of how I came to work with test anxiety. And it really comes down to my own struggle with anxiety, my own struggle with depression and chronic stress, something I was dealing with during my teenage years. And I tried a lot of different things. I didn't want to feel like that. And so I tried all sorts of different methods and techniques. I was doing talk therapy, but it really didn't help with what I was dealing with. Um, Medication really didn't come out until the 90s. The selective serotonin reuptake inhibitors, the Prozac and things, they didn't come out to the 90s. And so I was trying all sorts of methods and techniques. Nothing was really helping me. And I wasn't, well, to be honest, that serious about it either. But then I hit my 30s, started a family, and I didn't want to be like that around my son. I want to feel depressed and anxious all the time when I was raising a family and just trying to live life. And so I really committed to feeling better, and it became like a all-encompassing obsession, I guess you'd say, looking for different ways of dealing with the depression I was feeling. And so I started researching, looking at all sorts of different techniques and methods, so much so that I actually started feeling better. I was practicing the things I learned about. And after about a year or so, I realized one morning that I hadn't felt depressed or anxious in a really long time. I'd literally recalibrated my nervous system, the way my brain was wired to deal with the world. And what I realized is I had this toolbox full of great techniques and methods and strategies. And so I wrote a book called Depression 180, put it out there, and started doing interviews, and I love talking about it. I love putting this information out there and telling people about these techniques. And one of the strategies I used was hypnotherapy, and this is a method of therapy, that a way of accessing the subconscious mind to heal trauma and heal past hurt and pain, and then installing new instructions for joy and confidence and whatever else you want to create your best life. And it worked really well for me, these one-on-one sessions with a hypnotherapist. And so much so, I enjoyed that work so much that I got trained as a hypnotherapist. Got some great education, great training at the Hypnotherapy Academy of America. And when I started working with people one-on-one, one of the issues that came up a lot, as you can imagine, was anxiety and stress. In fact, one of my very first clients had test anxiety, and she wanted to become an audiologist, working with children. So, helping kids who are deaf or hearing impaired. And what extraordinary career to get into. And she had spent tens of thousands of dollars in training, get trained over the course of a couple of years. She had her master's degree. And then she got to train in the audiology, and she was an extraordinarily intelligent woman, but she just couldn't pass the licensing exam to get started in her career. This is one of those careers where you need to get licensed by the state, get certified by the state, so you have to take the test. And she just would get so nervous, so anxious about it, about being able to start a new career, that she would fail the test. And it was like $800 every time she took it. And she only got a handful of times to take it, like 3 or 4 times before they kind of cut you off for the year. And so she would take this test, she would fail, and it was embarrassing. It was humiliating to have to tell her family and friends that she didn't make it again, and frustrated and angry. And someone told her about hypnotherapy and how it can help with anxiety. And so she came to see me, and we worked for about 3 or 4 sessions. And I taught her those exercises, those techniques, all the things I learned in my hypnotherapy training. And she learned how to turn off the stress response, the fight or flight response, recalibrate your nervous system. So turn off that sympathetic nervous system stress response, turn on the parasympathetic, really actually change her brain chemistry, turn off the adrenaline and cortisol, turn on the oxytocin, serotonin, and dopamine, and she passed the test. And so I started working with other people, of course, with anxiety, but also had other people come in for test anxiety specifically. And as I started kind of researching test anxiety and looking around, what I found was a whole lot of nothing. There wasn't a whole lot of marketable courses or books or anything out there. There's a couple books on Amazon, and even a kid's book, a picture book. And there was like a 45-minute class on teachable.com, hour-long class as well. But I didn't find anything that was comprehensive. I didn't see anything that really delved into anxiety around tests and exams. And so I thought, why not put this toolbox that I have, all the various techniques I've learned through the last 20 years since I had written the Depression 180 book and the Mind Mastery Blueprint book, and put it together into a really comprehensive course, not just for one type of person or one person in a certain type of school, but anybody can use. So whether you're a little kid in elementary school, nervous about taking a test, or the spelling test, or the grammar test, or the going to a new school, even meeting new friends, or a high schooler nervous about the history test or the SATs, or maybe you're in university and maybe you're taking the LSATs to get into law school, or the MCATs to get into medical school, or just doing regular university work and taking those exams, or defending your PhD dissertation, or even things like going to a job interview. If you're an actor or a musician, doing an audition or having to give a speech or a presentation, let alone maybe even a 65, 70-year-old retiree kind of bored and wanting to start a part-time career as a real estate agent, but it's been like 50 years since they've taken a test, and now they have to get the licensing exam to become a realtor. And so whether you're a little elementary school kid, or a high school, or a university, or you're a police officer, fireman, or electrician, a plumber, auto mechanic, again, a retiree wanting to become an accountant or a real estate agent later on in life, I wanted a course packaged full of all these different techniques and exercises and strategies, so you can have the skills to deal with anxiety and eliminate it, because it really comes down to your mind, and you get to decide what instructions that are within your subconscious mind. And maybe there's some issues around taking tests that got in there in high school or grade school or during university. So let's deal with them. And what I put together was this course. There's 12 lessons. It's a video course. Some videos are 5 minutes, 20 minutes. They're really bite-sized pieces. There's 12 lessons. There's about 6 hours worth of video training. There's 40 recordings that you can download so you can practice with these different techniques and exercises, and about 20 PDFs to download so you have these exercises and techniques right in front of you. This is the ACE Test course. You can find out more about it at acetest.com. Again, really this whole thing comes from my own struggles with anxiety and depression I was dealing with since I was a teenager. And this course is just filled with all the things I've learned, I guess over the last 35 years, all got put into this course, the most comprehensive course about test anxiety. So thanks for watching. And as my gift to you, go ahead and go to acetest.com, and there you can download for free 5 different recordings to program yourself for confidence. That's for you to have and to share. And if you or a loved one struggles with test anxiety, or you get really nervous before an exam, or you're a musician or actor for an audition or a job interview or giving a presentation, go to ACE Test. Check out the program. It's the most comprehensive course for test anxiety relief. Thank you so much for listening, everyone, and watching this video. Have a great week, and here's to your success in all that you do.